Manufacturers love making exaggerated statements about eco-friendliness of their products. Acer, however, seems to take the things a bit step further with the Aspire Vero. It's an entire laptop aimed at eco-conscious people, as Acer puts it. It's marketed largely as an environmentally friendly laptop manufactured from recycled components. Not enough for you? Well, how about the fact that Acer will plant 100 trees for every Vero laptop is sold? The Aspire Vero's eco-friendly design differentiates it from other 15-inch laptops. The chassis of the laptop is made up of 30% PCR materials, while the keycaps are mainly composed of 50% PCR. The rest of the PC is a light speckled gray, which is a popular color pattern for environmentally friendly computers. Another ecologically friendly step is the absence of paint on the chassis, which reduces the quantity of potentially dangerous volatile organic compounds, or VOC, emitted into the air. Overall, the Aspire Vero is attractive, environmentally friendly, and has a pleasant and sturdy feel to it. The Aspire Vero is Acer's first laptop manufactured from post-consumer recycled polymers, and it comes packaged in 100% recycled materials. The 15.6-inch laptop's chassis and screen bezel are constructed of 30% PCR plastic, while the keycaps on the keyboard are made of 50% PCR plastic as announced at CES 2022. The laptop's inside is likewise designed to be easily upgradable and accessible. Despite its plastic exterior, the Aspire Vero offers a premium appearance and feel, and now with National Geographic as inspiration, the design is getting a special edition. According to Acer, the lid of the Aspire National Geographic Edition will include a topographic map-like pattern that alludes to the impact of global warming on rising sea levels. The famous National Geographic yellow border is printed on the bottom right corner of the keyboard, as well as a miniature National Geographic logo on the lid. On the spacebar, the words for planet Earth are also printed in yellow. However, I don't feel good about Vero's long-term durability. It's definitely plastic and it has a flimsy feel to it when compared to higher-end Acer devices like the Swift 3, which is like only $100 more. The keyboard and display both have visible flex. I was concerned about cracking the latter during torque testing, which isn't usually an issue on 15-inch units, especially at this weight and thickness. The 15.6-inch IPS Full HD display on the Aspire Vero is standard, kind of like the keyboard. It has an anti-glare matte display from Acer that lowers light reflection for a more comfortable viewing experience. In practice, it works, and we haven't come across any angles that have spoiled our viewing pleasure. The screen isn't touch-enabled, but that isn't a deal breaker for a desktop replacement. The screen's low maximum brightness can be a bigger issue. During our tests, we discovered that the panel never got particularly bright, with a maximum brightness of 245 nits. Because of this, images can appear dull and faded out despite the full HD quality. That CPU is paired with 16 gigs of memory and 512 gigs of SSD in my unit. Acer says a base variant with a Core i5-1155 G7 processor, as well as 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, will be available soon for $700. Both versions come with Windows 11 Home and Iris Xe integrated graphics, as well as a 1920 by 1080 screen. The Vero's strongest feature in our analysis is the performance of the processor. At $900, it's unquestionably one of the most powerful Intel systems available, though Intel is key here. It's not going to win many bouts against the Ryzen-powered HP Pavilion Aero 13. You could absolutely play non-AAA games, edit images, and render videos and perform CPU-intensive activities on this device. However, for demanding current games and higher throughput rendering, you'll need a dedicated GPU. On the battery saver profile, I was able to run Zoom calls and Spotify streaming over a slew of apps and Chrome tabs with no lag, crackling, or other difficulties. I never felt any major heat in the chassis or heard the fans spin up. This gadget can be pushed. It's a powerful laptop. However, there is a significant cost: battery life. The Vero has a 48 watt-hour battery as shown by its short lifespan. I was getting 4 hours and 25 minutes of continuous work out of a single charge, even with battery saver turned on. That's not ideal. Even for gaming laptops with beefier processors and demanding GPU, it's on the low end. AMD computers with 8-core CPU in this price range can easily survive twice as long. Overall, that outcome makes it difficult for me to determine whom the Acer is best suited for. Aside from the eco label, the Vero appears to be aimed towards consumers who want the greatest power for their money. However, I'm one of those people, and the battery life would still be a deal breaker for me. Unless you have a unique requirement for an Intel function like Quick Sync, the majority of people should be able to get comparable performance with an AMD system without the power drain. But maybe more notably, the battery life is yet another dent on Acer's green image. In comparison to its primary competitors, this laptop is inefficient. It'll be hooked in and sucking power for a long time. And to return to the topic of endurance, this is where the battery is now after only a week of use. Over time, that longevity will deteriorate further. It doesn't give me much hope that this laptop will endure a long time. Even at maximum level, the speakers under the laptop are loud and clear. True Harmony technology from Acer uses high-quality magnets in its speakers to generate a high magnetic flux, which is then split among speakers for more realistic sound reproduction. This implies that at greater volumes, your music will be louder and clearer. The Acer Aspire Vero has a very large number of ports. A Kensington lock notch, a USB 2.0 port, and a headphone jack are located on the right flank. The left flank is densely populated. 2 USB 3.2 Type A ports, HDMI and Ethernet interfaces, and a USB 3.2 Type C port are all included.